Hey guys, welcome to Streamline Builds. Today we're going to be working on my 2016 Subaru Crosstrek. We're just going to be replacing the front brake pads. Figured this would be a quick, easy video. I can show you exactly what you need and how to get it done quick and easy. My rotors aren't the greatest, but we're going to leave them for today. I can show you how to get that off too in case you want to have them turned or replace them. You want to make sure your car is jacked up solid. I've got the e-brake on and a chock behind the tire because jacking it up on the side tends to lift one of the tires up, so can't really trust the e-brake with that. If you want to come down here, I'll show you the two spots I found that are good to jack it up. You got your reinforced body seam right here, which is what they'd use in like a tire shop or something probably. And I've got it up on the kind of the frame support where the suspension mounts to. Looked like a good solid spot. And then we're going to need a 19mm socket, and go ahead and break the tire loose. Get it out of the way. Alright, now inside here we're going to need a 17mm, and we're going to be removing two bolts that hold the caliper bracket to the spindle. They're right back in here. You can see the top one you can't quite get a socket on. Maybe if you had an extension and do a little something, but makes it harder to torque on. So I'm going to use a ratcheting wrench and just go ahead and get that one coming off, and then just one more down below on the bottom. Might be hard to see, but you can figure it out. So get those off, get our caliper off, and it's smart to get like a zip tie and like hang your caliper. Use one of these holes or something to run it through. That way you don't put any extra tension or pressure on your brake hoses and risk ruining your brake system. Alright, we got our caliper off, the bolts out, and just wiggle it off. If it's extremely worn, you might have a hard time getting the brake pads off the ridge that's created in the disc. If that happens, you can stick a screwdriver down in here and just kind of pry between the brake pad and the rotor to give it a little extra room and get it off there. Or pry underneath up on the caliper isn't really the best way, but you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get it apart. I'm going to use a zip tie to go through somewhere on here and just hook it up out of the way. That way it doesn't put any extra stress on our brake hose and cause any accidents down the road. Nobody wants to have a hole in their brake hoses, that's for sure. If you got a better zip tie than me, you'll be in good shape. But alright, like I said, I'm not planning on changing my rotors today, but if you wanted to do it, this is like a 12mm head bolt. I think it's a 10 by something thread pitch, whatever, just 12mm bolt, typical that would come out of some Toyota or Nissan or Subaru. And get two of them in here, these two threaded holes, start them in and just slowly put pressure on both of them, work your way, and it'll wiggle the thing off. But that's how you do it. We're popping out our brake pad here, and on the outside, I might shove that back in there as kind of a pressing device in a second, but what we need to do is get this kind of pushed in a little bit, and there we go. So what we need to do is get that in so I got enough room to use my clamp and get on the back body of the caliper so can use it to compress this thing down. I'm going to use the brake pad as kind of like a centering device so I don't damage anything, and we need to push this in because our new brake pads have a lot more meat, and we need to compress these pistons in to the housing. That way our new pads will fit and clear over our disc. So like that, and just start compressing it in. You can see the piston is moving in just like that. I might have to do both sides so get both pistons in all the way, but it's working. So just do that until you get your pistons kind of seated all the way back in and confident you got enough space to fit your new pads. Alright, we've got a new brake pad here with the little squealer tab and all that. It's kind of a funny design, but just make sure you get it back in the way you had removed it in the beginning. I believe that this goes on the outside here. It's very odd, but be satisfying once you get it in place. I'll tell you that much. There we go. Just click it right in and get your tabs set back in these little square openings. Sometimes flat blade screwdriver is real nice to use to just get your pad set in this spring clip and just help everything just slide into place, and get it right in there like that, and you're ready to put it right back on your rotor. Be good to go. Alright, pads are all happy in there. Hopefully it fits on the rotor the way it should, just like that. If you compressed everything properly, then you should be good. You just start your bolts back in the caliper and grab your 17, torque them down to spec, put your wheel back on. Always a good idea to clean everything with brake cleaner too, especially with your dirty hands on your brake pads, so that way everything breaks in properly and your pads will last you a lifetime. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Be sure you torque your wheel back down, and the first time you hit your brake pedal after compressing your calipers like that, it might feel spongy or soft, but just pump it up a couple times. It should be completely normal and you'll be good to go. Appreciate you for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see anything else.